Greetings, my name is Chamomile and this is an exploration of the entire galaxy sector by sector. Today, we're looking at the Hook Nebula, namesake of the 15th Hook Nebula Command in the Outer Rim. The Hook Nebula isn't a nebula in this sector, it is the sector. I had to look this up because I knew nebulas were big, but I didn't know they were so big that they actually show up on galactic scale maps, but yeah, they can often be several hundred light years across. Hook Nebula is one of the biggest nebulas in the galaxy, but given it's one of the biggest, it's about as big as you'd expect. Hook Nebula is the domain of the Kieg species, insect people whose home land system was discovered to have valuable ore in the Old Republic era during the New Sith Wars, but before the Dark Age at the end when the Republic completely disintegrated. You might expect this would go horribly wrong, but the valuable ores were all in the marginally habitable worlds of Lan Falav, Lan Tundi, and Lesser Galam. The Kieg homeworld of Lan Barel didn't have a ton of mineral resources, that's probably why it took them so long to find them, so the Kieg set up some cantinas there to give the miners someplace nice to spend weekends and got their cut of the mining operations that way, and life on Lan Barel was pretty much unaffected. No giant pit mines or industrial runoff or any of the other usual consequences of a miner species having valuable ore discovered in their home system. Lan Barel got passed over by the New Sith Wars, the Clone Wars, and the Galactic Civil War, but the Hook Nebula as a whole wasn't as lucky. The rebels dug in here after the Battle of Yavin during the Mid-Rim Retreat. The Empire sent the K-Met fleet and their Scimitar Assault Wing to recapture the Hook Nebula. As was the general trend in the Mid-Rim Retreat, the Imperials were victorious, although the rebels did inflict some pretty severe casualties on them early on in the campaign. The victory is mostly credited to Scimitar Assault Wing, a TIE wing who adapted their tactics to counter the rebel atmospheric defenses that had threatened to crush the Imperial assault in the Aturi cluster. The rebels never found an answer to Scimitar's vertical swoop technique and lost their strongholds on Udre and Newland 6. None of these were super important worlds, just locations of major rebel strongholds which had intentionally been dug into uninhabited or under-inhabited planets where no one would notice. Also, there's a rumor of a particularly successful arms dealer during the Galactic Civil War in Hook Nebula named Perengal Kreen, who is said to be a third-generation Twi'lek. A third-generation Twi'lek? What the hell does that mean?